The news that supporters have been exonerated of any wrongdoing at final in Paris in 2022 has been greeted as super important by manager. The UEFA independent report found UEFA primarily responsible for organizational failings, absence of overall control or oversight of safety and security, poor planning and lack of contingency plans. We bring you the reaction of Klopp below. That's by far the most important story of the day, but we also had news that Wenger is stepping up his recovery after he underwent knee surgery back in December as he targets a return to action next month, with a specialist seemingly called in. The Colombian will hope that his teammates will have used the win against Merseyside rivals Everton as a springboard as they look to salvage the season following a mixed campaign so far, and captain has issued a rally cry to that effect. Here rounds up the 3 red stories that you need to read on Wednesday, February 15th. Jurgen Klopp reacts to UEFA independent report. Boss reacted to the publication of the UEFA independent report into the events that surrounded the final in Paris last year. Welcomed the report into the chaos at the UEFA final in Paris, which fully vindicated supporters while finding UEFA primarily responsible for organizational failings, absence of overall control or oversight of safety and security, poor planning and lack of contingency plans. The evidence-based panel report also found that there was a clear and immediate danger of a fatal crash, and that the action of supporters saved lives. Reacting to the release of the UEFA Independent Review report, I think it's super important that, finally, it's official. Let me say it like this. I'm not sure, at least in my life, there was never a case with more evidence, where I knew more about it when I was not directly involved, because I was on the other side of the wall in the stadium, pretty much. But families, friends, they were all there and everybody knew how our supporters behaved, but it really feels good, it feels just right, that it's now official and everybody knows it now because there were so many things said after the game, which we knew they were wrong. It was just lies. So, I'm really happy that it's finally said officially, says. It is often said about that he just gets the tone so right when it comes to the bigger issues, and this instance is no different. Every supporter will agree with the manager that to see the supporters who attended the final in June completely exonerated was the expected and right outcome of this independent review report. Klopp again shows the character within that has endeared him to so many supporters and why so many Reds are so grateful to have him. Let's hope that UEFA now make sure their organizational failings never repeat. Hale's derby performance as he rallies. Reds captain has expressed his delight at Monday's Merseyside derby victory as he vowed that has taken a step in the right direction. Swept aside their Merseyside neighbours Everton to secure a first win of 2023 as strikes from legendary winger Mohamed Salah and new signing helped clinch victory. With the games now coming thick and fast, however, celebrations will not last long as attention soon turns to a visit to St James Park, where we'll face Newcastle United on Saturday evening, aiming to utilise its first win of the calendar year as a springboard in the fight for the top 4. Speaking after Derby win, told FC.com, I thought the overall performance was top from start to finish. Everyone was at it, we knew it was a big game for us, a derby game, and we delivered. It doesn't make up for the last few weeks in terms of our performance, but it is certainly a step in the right direction and it was certainly more like us. Says the captain led by example as got the better of old foes Everton earlier this week, and supporters will be hoping that the England stalwart is now returning to form after a drop-off in fortunes following the World Cup. veteran has so often been pivotal to US's successes under Klopp, and one senses that the captain's leadership and experience will be vital if the Reds are to trouble the sides above them in the coming months. Positivity has been hard to come by in recent weeks, perhaps understandably following what was a barren January for the Reds, but Henderson looked back to his best against Everton, and if anyone can rally the troops for the upcoming fixtures, it is US's inspirational captain. Stepping up recovery as injury specialist flies in, and finally, we have the welcome news that winger is stepping up his fight for fitness alongside an injury specialist from Porto. The Colombian international is now undergoing rehabilitation after he underwent knee surgery back in December. Star is now closing in on a return to action and is believed to be running again. It is hoped that he will be fit to feature in the second leg of the Reds' last 16 encounter against. In order to step up his efforts to return to action next month, the 26-year-old is now seemingly working with a sports performance manager that he may have got to know during his time with Porto. Mario Simões, a Porto-based fitness, well-being and rehabilitation company, The Peak, works with a number of footballers on strength and conditioning, as reported by. On Tuesday, Simões posted an image from SAXA Training Center before sharing a picture of Díaz being put through his paces in the gym on Wednesday. Says, "It is great to see that the Colombian is stepping up his efforts to be fit in time for the second leg of the tie with. Every side would miss a player of Díaz's ability, and his pace and unpredictability will be an asset for during the business end of the season." The elephant in the room, of course, is the fact that the next couple of weeks will probably shape US's season with crunch fixtures against Newcastle United and to come. If the Reds are able to beat the Magpies and stay in the tie against Madrid, then they can still salvage their campaign with the chance of making the top four and going on a run still on the cards. Landed incredible transfer bargain ahead of Man United, and it should prompt new policy. $21 million gem can solve Fabinho problem if revives Michael Edwards trend.